She didn't scream. She didn't ask for a lawyer. She didn't ask why she was being detained. She looked straight at the officer and said one sentence. "I am Amy Bradley." For a moment, the room went silent. Because Amy Bradley has been missing since 1998. Declared lost at sea. Declared unsolvable. Declared gone. And yet, here was a woman in custody claiming that name. Not in an interview. Not in a documentary. But during a routine arrest, where lies usually fall apart fast. So here is the question investigators had no choice but to face. Why would someone choose this identity? And more disturbing, why did her claim trigger immediate federal review? Because this case has a history. A history of people claiming to see Amy alive. A history of witnesses who later went silent. A history of details that never quite fit the official explanation. Tonight, we are not solving the Amy Bradley case. We're doing something more dangerous. We are reopening the one door authorities never wanted reopened. The possibility that Amy Bradley did not die at sea. The woman's statement was not treated as a confession. It was treated as a procedural event. Because under U.S. law, any claim of identity tied to a long-term missing person must be verified, even if it seems impossible. So the process began. Fingerprints, photographs, medical observation, tattoo comparison, and at first glance, nothing matched. Amy Bradley had 4 known tattoos, distinctive, documented, photographed. The detained woman had none. She claimed they were removed. That alone didn't end the inquiry. Because tattoo removal in the late 1990s often leaves scars. But doctors found none. Still, investigators didn't close the door. Why? Because this case has burned them before. Too many sightings. Too many witnesses. Too many moments where certainty slipped away. So instead of dismissing her, they started asking a different question. If she isn't Amy, why choose Amy? Under questioning, her story began to change. First, she said she was Amy. Then she said she had escaped recently. Then she said she had been free for years. Then she said something else. Something investigators didn't expect. She said, "I helped the wrong person." Not emotionally. Not dramatically. Procedurally. She claimed she had assisted someone who controlled movement, watched people, knew when ships arrived. She would not give a name. She would not give a date. But her language triggered alarms. Because those phrases, movement, monitoring, timing, echo something old in this case. Something that has never been proven, but also never disproven. Amy Bradley disappeared from a cruise ship. No body, no confirmed fall, no verified overboard event. The ship's system recorded entry, not exit. Once her cabin door closed, tracking ended. No cameras in key corridors. No biometric verification at ports. No individualized disembarkation record. This created a timeline void. A gap so wide that multiple explanations could fit inside it. And inside that gap, witnesses began to speak. Years later, too late to verify, too specific to ignore. A woman on a beach. A woman in a restroom. A woman in a bar who whispered one name. Amy. None confirmed. None dismissed. That is why this case never rested. And why one strange claim in custody was enough to wake it again. Investigators considered the obvious explanation. People lie. Some lie for attention. Some lie from trauma. Some lie because they believe it. But this woman didn't behave like a hoaxer. She didn't use public facts. She didn't reference the ship by name. She didn't cite famous details. She avoided specifics. A strange choice if deception was the goal. Instead, she spoke in fragments. And that raised a more unsettling possibility. What if she wasn't claiming to be Amy? What if she was trying to reach someone connected to Amy? Because invoking that name guarantees one thing. Authorities listen. Her records were reviewed. No international travel. No heathen finances. No proof of captivity. But also, no clear motive. She gained nothing. She faced scrutiny. She risked consequences. And yet she repeated one sentence. I helped the wrong person. That statement did only one thing. It forced investigators to reopen old files. Not because they believed her, but because they could not legally ignore her. Here is the truth no one likes. The Amy Bradley case is not unsolved because of a lack of theories. It is unsolved because of a lack of closure. No body, no moment, no certainty. And that creates a vacuum. A vacuum where false claims appear, real witnesses hesitate, and truth hides behind fear. The woman in custody was not Amy Bradley, but she did something just as powerful. She reminded the system of something it tried to forget, that this case was never finished. And until Amy Bradley's fate is proven, not assumed, any voice claiming knowledge will always matter. Because in missing person cases, the most dangerous thing is not a lie. It is premature certainty. And somewhere between silence and memory, the truth is still waiting.